Hey everyone, Money Mindset. Here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into the world of tech earnings, and not just any earnings. We're talking NVIDIA. These guys have been absolutely crushing it lately, and their Q2 report is one of the most anticipated in the entire market. I mean, we're talking about the company that's basically fueling the AI revolution here. Now, before you click away thinking, earnings reports? Money Mindset, that's boring. Trust me on this one. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, it's about understanding the forces shaping the future of technology. And let's be real, potentially making some serious bank in the process. So whether you're holding NVIDIA stock, thinking about hitting that buy button, or just want to understand what all the hype is about, stick around. We're breaking down the 3 critical insights every investor needs to know about NVIDIA's Q2 earnings. Let's do this. Okay, let's talk earnings report today. We're expecting the most anticipated earnings reports of the season, NVIDIA's Q2 results. With the tech giant dominating headlines, what can investors expect? Stick around as we uncover the 3 critical insights every investor needs to know. All right, let's kick things off with the big one: revenue growth. NVIDIA has been on an absolute tear lately, and a huge chunk of that growth has been fueled by, you guessed it, AI. I mean, these are the chips powering the AI revolution, the brains behind ChatGPT, self-driving cars, the whole 9 yards. Analysts are expecting some pretty massive numbers this quarter, and for good reason. Demand for AI chips is through the roof right now, and NVIDIA is basically the only game in town when it comes to high-end GPUs. But here's the thing, expectations are a double-edged sword. If NVIDIA crushes it and blows past everyone's expectations, the stock could skyrocket. We're talking about potential for some serious gains. But, and this is a big but, if they fall short even just a little bit, the market could punish them. Remember, Wall Street runs on expectations, and when those expectations aren't met, things can get ugly fast. Now let's take a look at their Q1 performance for a second. Remember back then, they absolutely smashed earnings estimates, posting record revenue driven by, you guessed it again, their data center segment, which is basically code for all that sweet, sweet AI money. Their data center revenue more than doubled year over year. And that's not just some small-time growth, we're talking a significant chunk of their overall revenue. So what does this mean for Q2? Well, investors are going to be watching like hawks to see if NVIDIA can keep this momentum going. Can they keep those data center sales soaring? Can they keep proving that the AI hype is real and translating into cold, hard cash? Because let's be honest, there are some skeptics out there. Some people think this AI bubble is going to burst, that the growth is unsustainable. And if NVIDIA shows any signs of slowing down, those doubts are only going to grow louder. That's why this revenue number is so crucial. It's not just about one quarter. It's about proving to the market that NVIDIA is here to stay, that they're the kings and queens of the AI era. So keep your eyes peeled for that revenue number when the earnings report drops. It's going to be a big one. Now, revenue is obviously crucial, but it's not the whole story. We also need to talk about profitability, because let's be real, making money is kind of important, right? And that brings us to our next critical insight. All right, so we just talked about how NVIDIA's revenue is expected to be through the roof, thanks in large part to the insane demand for their AI chips. But here's the thing about any business, especially in the tech world. Growth is great, but it means nothing if you're not making money. And that's where margins come in. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term, margins basically tell you how much profit a company makes for every dollar of revenue they generate. Higher margins mean more money in their pockets, which is always a good thing. And NVIDIA, let me tell you, they've been killing it in the margin department. Over the past few quarters, their margins have been expanding. And not just by a little bit, we're talking some serious gains here. This is partly due to the higher prices they've been able to command for their AI chips. I mean, when you're the only game in town, you can kind of dictate the terms, right? But it's also because they've been really smart about managing their costs. They're not just throwing money around like it's going out of style. They're being strategic, optimizing their operations, and making sure every dollar counts. But here's the million-dollar question, or should I say, the billion-dollar question: can they keep this up? Because, let's be real, there are some potential headwinds on the horizon. For starters, inflation is still a thing. The cost of everything is going up, from raw materials to labor, and that could start to eat into their margins. And don't even get me started on the supply chain. It's been a mess for everyone, and NVIDIA is not immune to those challenges. Getting their hands on the components they need to build those chips is no easy feat, and it's costing them. So So what does this mean for investors? Well, you're going to want to pay very close attention to what NVIDIA says about their margins during their earnings call. Are they confident they can maintain these high margins, or are they starting to see some cracks in the armor? Are they talking about raising prices to offset those rising costs? Or are they looking at other ways to protect their profitability? Because here's the deal. If NVIDIA can keep those margins high, it's a sign that their business is healthy, that they're managing their operations effectively, and that they can weather any storms that come their way. But if those margins start to shrink, it could be a sign of trouble ahead. It could mean that competition is heating up, that they're losing pricing power, or that those cost pressures are starting to take their toll. So, yeah, margins might not be the most exciting topic in the world, but trust me, they're incredibly important. Pay close attention to what NVIDIA has to say about them, because it could give you some serious clues about the future of their business. Now, we've talked about the past, we've talked about the present, but what about the future? What's next for NVIDIA? That brings us to our final critical insight. Okay, so we've covered NVIDIA's revenue growth, which is expected to be massive thanks to the whole AI craze. We also talked about their margins and how they've been managing to stay incredibly profitable, even with all the challenges in the global economy. But now, let's talk about the future. Because let's be real, as investors, that's what we're really interested in, right? What's next for NVIDIA? Where are they going? What's their grand plan to stay on top of the tech world? Well, that's where their guidance comes in. See, when a company releases its earnings report, they don't just talk about what happened in the past. They also give their outlook for the future. They tell investors what they expect to happen in the coming quarters, what they're seeing in the market, and where they're placing their bets. And for NVIDIA, this guidance is going to be particularly interesting, because remember, they're not just riding the AI wave, they're basically the ones who created it. So their perspective on the future of AI is incredibly valuable. Investors are going to be laser-focused on what NVIDIA has to say about the demand for AI chips going forward. Is it going to continue to skyrocket, or are we starting to see things level off? Are there any new markets or applications for their AI technology that they're excited about? Because let's be honest, the AI revolution is still in its early stages. There's so much potential for growth, and NVIDIA is in the driver's seat. But it's not just about AI. NVIDIA is also a major player in other areas like gaming, data centers, and automotive. So investors will be looking for any clues about their plans in these areas as well. Are they developing any game-changing new products? Are they expanding into new markets? The answers to these questions could have a huge impact on their stock price. Because remember, the stock market is all about expectations. If NVIDIA paints a rosy picture of the future, if they talk about continued growth and innovation, investors are going to get excited. But if they're more cautious, if they hint at any potential challenges or slowdowns, it could send the stock tumbling. So when that earnings report drops, don't just skip to the numbers. Pay close attention to what NVIDIA's leadership has to say about the future. Listen carefully to their words, read between the lines, and try to get a sense of where they're taking the company. Because their vision for the future could be the key to unlocking some serious profits for savvy investors. And remember, the future is never certain. There are always risks and uncertainties, but by understanding NVIDIA's plans and their outlook on the market, you can make more informed investment decisions and potentially position yourself for success in the long run. So, there you have it. The 3 critical insights you need to know about NVIDIA's upcoming Q2 earnings report. We talked about their revenue growth, which is expected to be phenomenal thanks to the insatiable demand for their AI chips. We dug into their margins, which have been stellar but could face some pressure in the coming quarters. And we explored their future outlook, which will be heavily scrutinized for any clues about the direction of the AI market and NVIDIA's place in it. Remember, investing in the stock market always carries risks. The tech industry in particular is known for its volatility, but by understanding the key factors driving a company's performance, you can make more informed decisions and potentially reap the rewards. Do your own research, folks. Don't just take my word for it. Read the reports, listen to the earnings calls, and form your own opinion. That's how you become a better investor. And who knows, maybe even beat the market in the long run. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. So there you have it. 3 critical insights to watch for in NVIDIA's Q2 earnings report. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, understanding these key areas can help you navigate the market with confidence. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on the latest market trends. And don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.